Welcome back. And as we progress, we seek understanding of yet another contentious issue. This time around, it's about what is emerging as a boundary dispute between the Ogun and Ondo state governments. And this follows President Bola Tinubu's order for the commencement of oil drilling of an abandoned oil well somewhere on Eba Island. And so Eba Island, according to reports, is found in Ogun, waterside local government area. But are there two Eba locations in Ondo and Ogun State? This is what we seek to understand this morning on the program, as the Ogun State government has reaffirmed its claim of jurisdiction over Eba Island in Ogun, waterside local government area, of course, where the oil deposits are reportedly found. So let's speak to both sides now, starting with Ogun State. And joining us on the program this morning for clarification over the issues are His Royal Highness Oba Segun Ogunye Ojutumoro of Abigi, Ogun State, is also the former chairman, Ogun Waterside Local Government. We'll also have Professor, right beside His Royal Highness, Professor Olusegun Awonusi, former Ogun Commissioner of Education and former Vice Chancellor Tai Solarin Federal University of Education. Good morning, sirs, and thank you for joining us on the morning brief.
Good morning. Nice to have you.
Yeah. I'm going to start with you, Your Royal Highness. Are there two Eba Islands or Eba locations? So which one is Eba Island and which one is just Eba?
What we've decided to do when it comes to that segment is to allow Professor to speak illicitly on that, because there are more than one Eba. And as a matter of fact, there are evidences, documents to prove that we have more than one Eba. The island in question, yes. There are other ones around that belt, you know, the coastal belt or the coastal region. There are other two Ebas. One is clearly located in Ondo. There's no issue with that. It's around the reserve in Ondo. And there is another one that is also within Ogun axis that is not even on the island. So we can say we have three. But if we need...
Three? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. Prof.
Okay, Prof.
Thank you very much. Sometimes I get interested in this because I'm also a linguist. In Ashifal, if you Google, you will find that the issue of EBA, so in terms of spelling now, cuts across about 5 different countries in the world. But if we domesticate it to southwestern Nigeria, the Eba that we're talking about, the Eba community, is in actual fact a concatenation of settlements. And what do I mean by that? In the Ogun sector, we have Eba Idiorobo, where the drilling is taking place. We have Eba Alaye, and then we have even a much older Eba close to Awodikora. So all this, and then...
All these three you have mentioned are within Ogun waterside.
Yes. And then we also have one Eba in the Ondo sector that is very close to the forest reserve. So the issue is that our friends in Ondo sometimes confuse these Ebas. They are different settlements. That's why decidedly use the word concatenation of settlements. And it's not the first in the world. We do have such in different parts of the world.
Now, I'm glad you said you're a linguist, because that's also part of what could help us understand the issues and distinguish the two Ebas.
Yes.
Now, on the one hand, the Eba in Ogun, waterside local government, is called Eba,
yes,
right?
Yes.
But we know that as far as Ondo and Ogun are concerned, there are two distinguished groups, ethnic groups from southwestern Nigeria, both culturally and language-wise. So the one in Ondo, is it also called Eba? And what language is spoken in these two communities?
Yes, that's also very interesting. You know, there's a difference between language use and areas where people exist. Just as in Lagos, For example, we have Yoruba in Lagos, we even have people of Astra extraction who have even been here for generations. Now, the same is the story of Ogun Waterside local government. In Ogun Waterside local government, particularly Ogun East, in the northern part of Ogun East, we have our brothers there, the people of Ikale. And in actual fact, you won't even believe that they constitute 2 out of the 10 wards of the local government.
There are Ikale people in Ogun East.
Yes. Quite enough. So, as you now go south, you also have a few, and also a few Ilajes, some of which live with us, and we've lived peacefully over the years. But of course, that does not diminish from the fact that the territory belongs to Ijebu under the jurisdiction of the Awujale and even a number of cases in the past, a number of judicial issues have arisen in the past, where it's been clearly stated that the area that we now talk about is Ijebu territory, but we have, these are our friends also, well, you know, residing there with Ijebu people. And so there's no problem with us.
So if there are Ikale speaking people in Ogun East and Ilajes in Ogun East, they just reside, but are they claimants of, hailing from Ogun State? Do they claim Ogun State?
Politically, they are in actual fact, surprise. Some of them have even become vice chairman of local governments in Ogun State, local government chairman, of course, and of course, we have even had people of high political extraction from the area. I can give 2 ready examples who I call it. For example, one became national party chairman of PDP at some point, and one was also a federal minister. But the fact that they come there and they stay there, they stay on Ijebula, and they are like brothers and sisters.
So you're saying that they're settlers?
The settlers.
So they're not indigents?
They're not indigents, they are settlers.
So is that where Eba Island is, this area in Ogun East?
Where Eba Island is, the contentious area, which is in Makun Kingdom, and Kabiyesi will explain the issue of Makun Kingdom and Iruku Kingdom. That is really in the Jebu part of Ogun Waterside local government.
Okay, so let's come to Kabiyesi now. I was asking him if tonally, Yoruba has, language tones. Tonally, Eba in Ondo State also sounds the same as the one in Ogun State.
That's
and
right.
Perhaps you want to elaborate on what the Prof has said.
No, the truth of the matter is Eba is Eba.
Okay.
And virtually, whether Ilaje, whether we are friends, we've got married to our children have got married to them, so you won't take it away. But don't forget that a tenant will remain a tenant, no matter how long he stays in there. The owner of the property owns the property. We had an issue some time ago when the issue of creation of Jebu was being handled, whether it was in Lagos, then later in Akure, when some of the Ilajes and they said they cannot go with us in formation of Ijebu State. And we said, no problem. If you are not going with us in forming our own state, then you should quit the land, because he who owns the land owns everything on the land as it is. No matter how long you have stayed there, it doesn't matter that you own the land. So the issue is we've been living very peacefully. Today, in our area there, we have Ayede, Ayila, Ayetumara, and so on. All these are part of Ondo State. The people living there, they are from majorly Ilaje-speaking people. And we accommodate. When I was the local government chairman, my vice was from that extraction, and we don't have issues at all. So the issue of Eba, I think with time, it will show very clearly to our friends in Ondo that it belongs, it's just an assertion. It belongs to Ogun Waterside local government.
So,
So,
the...
just,
Okay,
just
go
a
ahead,
moment.
Jeff.
So, for people who are not familiar with the territory,
Yes.
basically, are you saying that this controversy ensued because of the exploration that is going on?
Exactly.
It became more propounded.
Yes.
Because sorry, sir, I've been listening carefully to know that you've established the fact that this relationship has been there.
Yes.
You've been living peacefully.
Yeah.
Everybody has benefited one way or the other, maybe by
Yes.
appointment or whatever it is that has come through for that area.
Yes.
But until now, when this discovery or this exploration for discovery started, that's when the agitation. So, what is the claim of the other group, the people from the Ondo end? What is the agitation exactly?
Well, I am surprised. Well, why I said I'm surprised is that everybody knows his territory. As I speak today, we still have people, Ilaje and more, living within this territory. And they hired land from the Jebu ownership of such land. There are receipts, there are evidence that the land does not belong to them, because if it belongs to you, you cannot continue to pay. There are receipts.
How long has this been? So let's establish history. How long have they? Because my deduction is that you're saying expressly that these are settlers.
Yes.
They're not indigents per se.
No,
they are
they are
settlers.
not. They are settlers.
In fact, you have receipt to the effect that they are paying for residency in a sense. So how long has it been?
I think
For very many years.
many years.
You have physical copy or what evidence do you have in terms of the receipt for payment? Because that's a strong evidence. If you for example, in court, that will be sorted. That if these people are settlers and they are paying for residing in the area, you need to present that in court.
Very good. Well, if it gets to court, we would, but we can quote for you seat numbers and everything.
No, go ahead, please.
Okay. First, as I said, this has been a simmering over the years. And people from Ilaje were always putting 2 government notices. But these 2 government notices even became nullified when the reign of King Biligua II, as the Awujale of, and when the settlements of Ayede, Ayila, and all of them say, no, they belong to Ondo province and not Ijebu province. This is predating Nigeria. And the 2 cases, including the one that even went to West African Court of Appeal then, the 2 cases were lost. And the suit numbers...
Okay.
So Bukola, sorry. So if I understand, because I want people who are not familiar with the area, sorry, Bukola. So you are saying that, I've listened to Kabezi and I've listened to you, Prof, as well. You're saying that, you mentioned the issue of maybe Jebu State, they don't want to be part of it. You've mentioned something now. So you're saying that if in all the instances when we wanted aggregation, you were not forthcoming, why do you want to lay claim to what is now going to be like a treasure for all of us? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, precisely, because that is exactly what they want to do now. They have settled with us peacefully, we are taking them, but suddenly because they feel that this is a new treasure, maybe it's man's acquisitive tendency, because although it has a lot of oil, but we are happy for them that they have that and all that. But I see the one that God has now provided us, they also want. And that's not quite true.
Let me quickly put this one in, and it's a critical part of the question because we have to get to the representative from Ondo State. The deposits that have now been discovered on Eba Island, is it the Eba Island in Ogun State or the one in Ondo State that bears the deposit of this oil for drilling, which drilling will start soon?
It is the one in Ogun State. Specifically, the place is known as Eba.
Have you been there, sir?
I have been there.
You've been there?
Yes.
Have you cited oil, for which the federal government has instructed commencement of exploration?
Yes, it's there.
It's there?
Yes, it's there. The whole, well, historically, they have discovered it for a while now, and because there is it's like a pump site. There is a pump in there. As a matter of fact, the question I asked them when we went there was that, why is this thing here? Is it because they want to see whether it's of commercial value now?
All right.
Or what is it all about?
All right.
But now that the federal government has said, okay, it's been approved for drilling, that is why this new movement to site. And don't forget too, that government will not act in vain. The Nigerian Navy holding forth there, providing security there. If government did not believe in that project, they will not. And if there is controversy, you must have heard about it. So to the federal government, there was no controversy. It belongs to Ogun Waterside local government.
All right. We'll find out if that is the case when we talk to the representatives from Ondo State. But thank you for bringing your perspective, your narrative to this conversation. His Royal Highness Oba Segun Ojotumoro of Abigi, Ogun State, and former chairman Ogun Waterside local government. And not forgetting, of course, Professor Olusegun Awonusi is a former commissioner for education in Ogun State and former vice chancellor Tai Sholari, Federal University of Education. Thank you, sirs, for coming on the program.
Thank you. Thank you.
When we return from this break, we'll speak with a traditional ruler from Ondo State on this same subject. So stay with us. We'll be right back.